Sup, Craig? Sorry, I cut you off, Craig. Sup, Craig.
You jumped the gun so much. Hello, welcome to today's episode of Juice in the Numbers. I'm your host, Joshua Tracy.
And Ben Simmons hit a three-pointer. And I'm Corwin Heller.
Yeah, he doesn't do that a lot, right?
It's the first time he's ever done it in a regular season game.
Really?
Yeah, that's why it's such a big deal. Like, this is the first time he's ever done it.
Isn't this like his third season?
Yeah, like, it's been a talking point for a good while.
Oh my god.
He has...
Didn't he win Rookie of the Year?
Yes. He has 2 3-point attempts prior to tonight in his career.
Oh my, no fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
Not even like a wacky, like, desperation shot?
Nope. That's why it's so crazy, because everyone was talking, like, this is something he keeps saying he's working on, and, like, he's posting videos of him able to do it and, like, practicing it, but he's not even making any attempts. Like,
That's fucking bonkers.
And, like, it's not like people aren't giving him space on the floor. They are. Like, there are times where he's just crazy wide open. He just doesn't shoot.
Wow, that's not even our topic for today, and I'm just so flabbergasted.
It could be a topic.
Oh, we certainly could make it one, yeah. So instead, our actual topic for today.
Oh, I'm stupid. I need to correct myself. For some reason, Basketball Reference has a per game as like the top table instead of total. He has 17 3-point attempts in his career. Still never made one, but he had 11 in 81 games his rookie year, and then 6 last year.
17's still not a lot, though.
Games. No, not at all.
All right. Fucking all right. I just sent you a link to the Google Doc because I realized I didn't do that earlier. But today we'll be talking about the Houston Astros. So as we've mentioned before on the show, and as has been a major talking point of the sports news cycle in the last fucking 2 weeks now, 3 weeks.
It's been a good while.
It has not stopped, and the information coming out has been consistent. The Houston Astros cheated. They're dirty, dirty cheaters. And so we thought it'd be fun to at least look at some of the statistics end of it. What did the numbers look like when the cheating supposedly started? So the allegations are primarily for 2017, although it appears as though they also cheated in 2018 and 2019 through various different means. So we'll be spending most of this time looking at the 2016 and 2017 season, as 2017 was when the most obvious of the cheating happened. That's the banging on the trash can season that ultimately resulted in them winning the World Series. So that's why one of the main reasons this is also so hotly contested. What do you think this would be like if the Astros didn't win the 2017 World Series either? Like, they lost in 7 games to the Dodgers, just like they lost in 7 games to the Nats. Obviously, this would still be a big deal, but do you think it'd be like as big as it is?
I don't think it would be nearly as big of a deal. If they went to the World Series and lost in 7 games, I feel like it's like if currently it's at 100%, I'd say it would only be like 85, 90. You know, like it would still be a major deal, but like there definitely some people that'd be like, no, they didn't win though, so they couldn't be good at it.
That's a good point. I think it's a really good way of putting it too. The whole percentages. That pretty much hits the nail on the head with it. Yeah, it would still be super fucking bad, but you're right. It wouldn't be like quite as bad.
Do you think all these dudes who have been like accused and like people have said they've been involved, do you think their wives are like, holy shit, if they cheat at baseball, America's pastime, do I need to get my ducks in order? I don't know. These guys are pretty shitty.
Yeah, I'll say yes because fuck them. I'll say yes because like fuck Carlos Correa, like suck on a dick. Like, I don't care about you.
That's the attitude I like. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck Yuli Gurriel. He's racist. Like, fuck them all.
Super racist.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into some of this. So, have you opened up the Google Doc?
I do.
Cool. So let's just start looking at some side-by-side comparisons of these two seasons, and we'll start with some of the more preliminary stats, just the slash line stats. So in 2016, the team had a team batting average. I should clarify, these are all team stats. A team batting average of 247, on base of 319, a slugging of 417 for an OPS of 735, which is good for a 102 OPS plus as a team, which was sixth in baseball.
Yeah,
So
those are
these
pretty good.
stats, these stats are fine. These stats are totally fine. Yeah,
What do you know what the average batting average was? Just because 247, it doesn't seem that low, but I feel like it kind of would be based off of everything that's, we've been hearing about it.
I should be able to pull that up pretty quick. You know what the problem is? Is I have 10,000 tabs open to the point where you
Like
can't see what.
always.
I know, but they're helpful. But the problem is I can't see what the titles are in the on the tabs, so I have to individually click through each one just to
Hmm.
see what they are, and
God, that is a disgusting amount of tabs. Oh, speaking of tabs, here's a tab for you.
I
Oh,
hate you so
fuck
much for
me,
this.
dude. That just splashed all over my fucking laptop. Hold on.
Um, you fucking deserve that shit too.
Ah,
Uh,
shit, yo.
for reference, they were 23rd in baseball with that 247 batting average.
Okay.
Yeah, the only teams below
Fuck.
them that year was the Mets, I was about to say Raiders, the A's, the Brewers, the Rays, the Phillies, and the Padres. So not good teams.
Oh, fuck. I'm all over the place right now. This is
Yeah,
bad.
I can hear it. I can't even see you, and I can hear it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I spilled beer like on my laptop, like I ruined my last laptop doing, and I basically just had to smash a bunch of keys to dry it off and closed out of everything. But we're all good. We're back.
Cool. Yeah. So they were 12 points of batting average better than the worst team in baseball, the Padres. Their 247 was better than the Padres' 235. They were 8 points of batting average out from being league average, which was 255, and they were 41 points away from being the best, which was Boston at 282.
So nothing spectacular. They
No,
were very,
definitely bottom
very
half of
below
the.
mediocre.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I was about to ask, but were they below the Mendoza line? But we literally know that they were not.
Yes, no, they were. They would definitely had it above a 200 batting average.
Oh, Corwin, you are stupid. All right.
So looking at 2017, these numbers change a lot. Yeah, they do.
Oh,
Uh,
yes, they do.
their batting average goes to 282. Their 2017 on base percentage 346. Their 2017 slugging 478, which is good for an 823 OPS and a 123 OPS plus, which was best in baseball that year.
What
Big jump.
changed?
Well, if you look at their on base percentage, you can see that it is about 30 points higher. It's 27 points higher. And let's look at their batting average jump. I see their batting average jump was 35 points higher. So
What?
right off the bat, you can guess that their
What
on
about
base
their
percentage went up.
slugging?
We'll get to the slugging in a second. But,
Okay.
but you can see that their on base went up strictly because they're hitting more baseballs, which of course is good, and of course that's always the goal. But it means that their walks actually went seemingly down, at least as a percentage of their on base, because because their batting average has jumped 35 points, like 35 points in 1 year of additional batting average.
It.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. No batting coach can do that.
Fuck no. I don't. Yeah, no, absolutely not. I don't care how much great mentor Carlos Beltran was. It it does not matter. No batting coach is that good.
Do you remember the article that came out that basically talked about how the Astros were kind of lost until they brought in Carlos Beltran, and then he like taught guys how to look at stuff on film, like little things that they could look for, and he just improved everything so much. Was
Oh
that a
yeah, that.
bullshit article?
Oh,
Were
of
they
course it
just lying
was.
to us and through their teeth?
Of course it was. Carlos Beltran, also the quote unquote pitch tipping wizard, because he was always able to recognize what pitchers were doing. He was looking at videos. He was looking at videos.
Everything I know is a lie.
Yo, this is a really wild team batting average leaderboard for 2017. Are you ready for the 3 top teams?
Let's do it.
It's Houston, Colorado, Miami.
Yikes.
That's a wild top 3.
Yeah. Damn, Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, they still had Ozuna and
Oh yeah.
Stanton and Yelich, who should
Last
have
year
been
of
MVP this
Yelich.
year.
Yeah.
So, those last year, all those guys, they all got traded in that offseason.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do you think they could actually be like a World Series contender if they didn't trade all those guys? Or would they still be just in the circle of suck? I'd have to look at the trades and see what they got
I don't
back.
know. It's just so tough to say. Their problem was, as
Yeah.
it is with most teams, pitching. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's take a brief deviation from that just to hop back over to this Astros stuff. So based on just these preliminary slash line, at a glance, first look stats, I mean it's massive. It's a huge difference in offensive production just so immediately.
Did you see the one chart that they had? I forget exactly what it covered, but it was basically um, all of Major League Baseball except for the Astros were kind of just like a gradual, increasing trend. And then the Astros were just so astronomically high, you almost missed them. It's crazy how much this season changed from 2016. Like how it shouldn't make any sense, even with cheating, how they improved so much.
Well, the answer is cheating. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just.
But if you ask me, hey, if they were doing what they were doing, how much do you think they'd improve? I would have been like, not this much. They wouldn't improve this drastically.
And that's what I want to get at, mostly because these are team statistics. Like the fact that the team OPS plus increased 21 entire points is nonsense. Because that's not because like a lot of Astro fans' defenses is, well, they signed a lot of like better players, like they and we'll get to that later too. But the thing is, like, yeah, that's all well and good, but the fact of the matter is that the depth pieces, the guys who are career like nobodies, Jags, are now actually performing at least a non-negative value to the point where your team OPS increased 21 point. Like team OPS is tough. They were in 6th place, a top 10 team with a 102 OPS plus. Like team OPS plus is not usually a very high number, like you would think of for like guys who finish top 5 in MVP voting. A top
Mhm.
5 team doesn't have a humongous OPS plus. So the fact that it increased 21 entire points is it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
All right. So what's up next? What's the next thing to look at for us?
So I threw plate appearances in there just to give us a point of reference. So in 2016, the Astros had 6,204 plate appearances to the 2017 Astros 6,271. So 67 more plate appearances, which I have to say is actually less than I was expecting,
Mm-hmm.
because there's always talk about like, and I mean, this is true. Like, you put your best hitters at the top of the lineup so that they get more plate appearances over the course of a season, and that is true. But I would have figured that being so astronomically better would have accumulated more than just an additional 67 plate appearances.
Right.
Like that's not a
30,
lot of plate appearances.
like a 35-point increase in batting average, you would think would be over the course of 162 games would be a much bigger difference in these plate appearances, especially since they're walking less.
Yeah, it's literally one additional plate appearance every 3 games, just about.
Mhm.
Um, that's like not that much. I don't know. It's weird, right?
How does that math work out?
What do you mean?
Like, how are they getting on base more, walking less, but have, the correlation there with the plate appearances doesn't really add up. You know what I mean?
I do, and that's what I'm saying. That's one of the reasons I actually kind of love the defense about it. But it's weird, right? Like you would expect that to be a much different number.
Can we blame cheating?
Oh, 100%. I blame Alex Cora for this one because we can talk about him in a minute. All right. Then I just figured I would put some totals there just to show that really emphasize that slugging. So in 2016, the Astros hit 291 doubles, 29 triples, 198 home runs, good for 518 extra base hits. It's pretty good. The 2017 Astros hit 346 home runs. That's if you keep track
doubles.
at home, that's 54. Sorry, yes, doubles. 54 more doubles than 2017. They hit 20 triples, which is irrelevant. They hit 9 fewer triples. I mean, again, it doesn't matter. And then they hit 238 home runs, which is 40 more home runs than they hit in 2016. Good for 604 extra base hits, which is 86 more extra base hits than they hit in 2016, which is significant.
Were they also doing steroids?
Yeah, sure. I mean, why not? Yeah, they were doing steroids and greenies and sheep semen and whatever the hell else.
Beaver tranquilizer.
And beef.
Damn you, Bernice.
So now you can see, so one of the things with the whole slugging aspect of it is now you're seeing that they're capable of squaring up the ball a lot more. And some of this can be attributed to better players. Again, we'll get to that later. Yeah, that's fair. But this is also a monstrous increase on this front. You could say everyone had a good year, but that seems like a pretty specious argument at best.
Again, we know why they had a bit. Everyone had a good year.
Yeah, and it's not as a result of just luck. Although it really makes that 2018 Astros season look very questionable, doesn't it?
Very.
I mean Red Sox. Sorry, Red Sox. I think I said Astros again. 2018 Red Sox, where everyone had a career year. So this one was actually kind of weird. The average exit velocity for the 2017 Astros was actually lower than the average exit velocity of the 2016 Astros by 0.1 miles per hour. But they also climbed the ranks. So in 2016, they had a team average exit velocity of 87.7 miles per hour, which was 14th in MLB, so average. And then in 2017, they had an 87.6 mile per hour exit velocity, which was actually 4th in baseball. Apparently, 2017 was a shitty year for exit velocity, which is weird because 2017 is also the season they changed the balls in halfway through. So kind of odd it's lower, but maybe one has something to do with the other. So I did check average exit velocity across teams is pretty much like right here. It's not like any team had an average exit velocity of over 90 or below 80. So they were all kind of in this ballpark. So this one wasn't interesting, but I left it in.
So what's up next? WAR?
I'm going to get back to WAR, actually.
Okay.
So let's skip down to BABIP. Okay. So maybe the Astros just got lucky. Maybe a lot of their hits were just dunking in, and like they were just splitting the outfield because the outfield defense wasn't great all season. So BABIP, batting average on balls in play, will tell you that because if you're massively outperforming your BABIP, if your batting average is outperforming or underperforming your BABIP, it means you're either lucky or unlucky. And in 2016, their BABIP was 298 against their 247 batting average, so they were perhaps a tad unlucky. And then in 2017, their BABIP was 309. It's an additional 11 points, which is pretty negligible, which as compared to their 282 batting average, which again suggests that they were a little bit unlucky, but a little bit less unlucky than they were in 2016. So they definitely didn't get lucky. I'll tell you that. The BABIP hardly moved up. It's one thing if it jumped up drastically, and you could say, you could blame it on poor defensive alignments or the Astros are really good against hitting against the shift or some shit. But nope, it was BABIP was pretty steady there, so nothing doing on that front. And I just to double down on that, I wanted to see what the batting average, the in play percent of balls hit. And so to think about BABIP is the balls that already went in play. How often do you get on base with it? Now I want to see. All right, so just because you know what pitch is coming doesn't mean you can get a hit off of it, but it does mean you can put it in play.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2016, 63% of, and I forget how this was exactly calculated. I pulled this one off of Baseball Reference, as we pull damn near all of our stats off of Baseball Reference because they're the best.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we did baseball stuff and didn't pull something off Baseball Reference.
I mean, it's just the fucking best.
Yes, sir.
So I forget how they calculated this, if it was based off of plate appearances or what have you. But balls, we could think about it. I probably will think about it as like balls and I want to see if I can find it. Here it is. Percentage of all plate appearances with ball put into play. Okay. So, for instance, Jose Altuve put 77% of his plate appearances balls into play. That's a lot. That's really fucking high. 2016 too. Anyway, so the
That's pretty
Astros put
crazy.
63% of the balls seen by them in play. In 2017, it went up to 69%, so 6 additional percentage points. Which for this, I'm unsure of whether I'm going to think about that as being a large, moderate, or small increase. It feels like it should be big, but I don't know.
I have no frame of reference, so I can't really help you much here.
Well, let's do some really quick math here. How many hits would that be, or how many more balls into play is that? So if you took their how many plate appearances did they have? 6,200. So if we took that their 2017 plate appearances and multiplied that by their balls in play from 2016, that's 3,951 balls in play from 2016.
Sure.
Based on the 2016 numbers, and then using their 2017 number of 69%, that's
Wow.
4,327 balls in play. So it's just
Wow.
about 400 more balls put into play over the course of the season. All
It's
right, that's a
crazy to
lot.
see, like, when you forget how long a season is, and when you extrapolate to 162 games, how fucking massive a small change is.
Yeah, that's why I was so on the fence about it, because 6 percentage points, depending what you're talking about, can be very negligible.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're talking about 6,271 plate appearances, changing anything by 6%, like that adds up real fast. Like 400 more balls put into play over the course of the season. That's more than two a game. That's almost three a game.
That's. I wonder if we looked at the other teams, what the average here would be. But just looking at it the way it is, it seems pretty. You're right. It is pretty crazy.
So just keeping in line with some of these percentages, I got a few more for you. I know it's a lot of stats, but hey, this is the stats episode. I don't know what you were expecting.
Yeah, like,
Uh,
do we usually apologize for giving you an hour and a half worth of statistics just straight in a row? No, fuck them.
no, sir. In 2016, the Astros had a swinging strike percent of 19.8. So that means that of all the strikes that they accumulated, they were swinging strikes 19.8% of the time. In 2017, that dropped to 14.8%. And in case you're wondering, the pitches swung at percent in 2016, 47.3%. In 2017, 45.3%. So it went down. So both the pitches that they're swinging at, the amount of times that they're swinging went down, and the amount of times that they swung and accumulated a strike, basically a miss or a foul, also went down. So not only are they more disciplined, they're also making better contact.
Hmm. It's funny. What could cause such a thing?
And finally, much discussed stat recently. We're going to do strikeout to walk ratio. So in 2016, the Astros struck out 1,447 times and walked 554 times, which is a strikeout to walk ratio of 2.61. In 2017, the Astros struck out 1,075 times, walked 508 times, a strikeout to walk ratio of 2.12. So they struck out 400 times less. They also walked 50 fewer times, and their strikeout to walk ratio went down a pretty decent chunk.
Yeah. I'd like to attribute the decrease in walks being they were really bad at cheating. And so they were just taking fastballs down the middle because they didn't know what they were doing.
Oh, it's probably the other way. It's probably because they knew that they were going to get grooved one or
Yeah.
get something. Like now they're more willing to swing because they know
Yeah.
they're going to get the pitch they want. Like how
Mm,
often do you hear during a broadcast like, oh, he's sitting fastball or the batter is sitting curveball or he's sitting off speed. Now you don't have to sit.
yeah.
You're going to
No,
get told.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you don't have to have patience. Like someone's going to tell you. Like they're going to be like, hey, bud, curveball.
Actually, it would be more of, curveball.
Yeah. I don't have anything good to hit in front of me.
I just smacked my desk.
Yeah, I do this on my lap like a good boy. So in 2016, the Astros had a team WAR of 29.2, and 24.8 of that was from OWAR, 4.2 of that was from DWAR. So the remaining 0.2 WAR came from probably like base running or some stupid shit. In 2017, their team WAR, and I cannot emphasize that enough, 37. Their
Wow.
OR 39.1, and their DWAR actually dropped to negative 2.4. So the reason I put the breakdown in there is that it's one thing for the Astros team WAR to increase about 8. That in of itself is a ludicrous number. But this is a question not of the parts of WAR that get added into the overarching WAR. It's about offense. And their OWAR increased nearly 15.
Yeah, that's fucked.
That's
That
nuts.
is absolutely fucked.
That's basically giving your starting lineup everyone's going to get an additional 1.5 wins above replacement onto their last season. That's so much. That's so much. That's ridiculous.
I wish that was natural, you know?
Like you said, there's not a batting coach in the world. God,
Oh, fuck.
I I can't even fathom how. Oh, I just saw your message.
Yeah. Did you see that?
Wow, I didn't. I'm just seeing it now. So apparently the Yankees have released Jacoby Ellsbury
Mhm.
and DFA'd Greg Bird
And
and
he
added
so
Esteban Florial, Davy Garcia to the 40-man roster and also DFA'd Nestor Cortez Jr., which who cares about that?
yeah.
Wow.
So the thing is with Ellsbury, um, they still owe him like 68 million that they have to pay. I think that
Uh,
was the tweet that I saw. All right, so
I
here's
think it's
here's
less than that.
Roto World. So Ellsbury will get 20.14 million not to play for the Yankees in 2020, plus a $5 million buyout of the $21 million he would have been owed in 2021.
So they owe him about $26 million altogether.
hmm And then Matt Duffy got designated by the Rays as well.
Oh, really?
hmm
Well, he's a good, not great player, so that's fine.
Yeah,
The Bird thing also not surprising. I think Mike Ford makes him redundant.
I agree. We love Mike Ford too. We don't love Greg Bird.
We tried to love Greg Bird, and he did nothing.
You gave him so many chances to succeed, and he did not.
Couldn't take one of them up. Ugh.
He
Wow,
only
that's
played
crazy.
10 games this year? Yikes.
Yeah, they were like the first 10 games of the season, and then guess what?
He got
Got
hurt.
hurt. Yeah, fucking asshole.
Wow. Vidal Braun got the Rays purchased his contact. He's a big name prospect as well. I only saw that because he was right under Greg Bird stuff.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay.
Ooh, he bat 171 this year, Greg Bird. That's not great.
Yeah, well, he's
Even
not
even
great.
if it is a 10-game sample. Yikes.
So, anything you wanted to talk about in regards to this first tab here with the Houston Astros?
Um, did we talk about swinging strike rate?
We
I don't
did.
remember. Okay,
We can,
then
we
yeah,
can
we're
go
fine.
back to
No, it's
it.
fine. I just genuinely was looking at it like, I don't remember if we talked about that. But no, if we talked about it, we're fine.
So the next tab I have here is about roster changes because one of the big, again, like I said, one of the big defenses is, well, the Astros turned over a lot of parts of the roster and got
Mhm.
better players. So what I did was I went position by position, and then I put in uh, 5 bench players that had the most plate appearances because that means those guys saw a good time.
Mhm.
And I figured the easiest way of doing this was to look at it by OPS plus for their season and then for their career. So we could get a feel for like what kind of player is this.
Before
So
we go into this, I just want to say the biggest surprise so far is that Nori Aoki was their left field starter for the entire season.
I remember that
I
because the
totally
season
forgot about him.
after that was when he went back to. I feel so bad. I don't remember if it's Korea or Japan, but he went back to
Ooh,
playing
racist.
Asian baseball, which was everyone was like a little bit surprised about. But like he was older and he wanted to like get back to be near his family and like keep playing baseball, but like back in his home country. Yeah, yeah. I always liked Nori Aoki. He seemed like a good dude.
Hey, Josh, Yuli Guriel, Tracy, he is from Japan.
Thanks, pal. Yeah, I appreciate that one.
I thought far too long about how I was going to say Josh, Yuli, Guriel, Tracy in order, and I still fucked it up.
It sounded great.
Shut up.
All right, so in 2016, the Houston Astros had at catcher Jason Castro, first base Marwin Gonzalez, second base Jose Altuve, shortstop Carlos Correa, third base Luis Valbuena, whose existence I forgot about. Much the same with left field Colby Rasmus.
Mr. Amish himself.
Forgot he existed entirely. Center field, Carlos Gomez. Right field, George Springer. Primary DH was Evan Gattis. The 5 bench players with the most plate appearances for the Astros that year were Jake Marisnick, Tyler White, Alex Bregman, Preston Tucker, and AJ Reed. The OPS plus, as an average for all of these players, which I get you can't quite average this out to be precise due to the difference in plate appearances amongst these players, but for a rough look, 95.4 2016 OPS plus. The career OPS plus for these players, as an average, 101.1. So in 2016, they underperformed their career batting ability, but like not by too much. 6 points is a fair amount, but it's not crazy, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, you're getting dragged down by guys like Carlos Gomez, who was very much at the end of his, career, very much out of his prime. You're
Plus
hurt by
this
guys
AJ
like,
Reed guy and Preston
yeah,
Tucker.
and Alex Bregman, who, yes, his career is great. He just, was too young.
Yeah, and we'll talk
Let's,
more about this, but like also look at Jake Marisnick there, sitting at a 62.
yeah.
Preston
Well,
Tucker with his 50, AJ Reed with his 49. Like, there's a lot of rough ones.
all of these guys like Jake Marisnick, Tyler White, Alex Bregman, Preston Tucker, AJ Reed, they're all prospects. I feel like in 2016 at this point. Like Tyler White, Preston Tucker, like they're still prospects. Jake Marisnick is, still not good. It's, they they were definitely a young team on the bench in 2016 because damn, and
For sure.
pretty old starter.
So let's take a peek here at the 2017 roster change. So, position by position in 2017 at catcher for the Houston Astros, Brian McCann. First base, Yuli Gurriel. Oh, I should mention a few of these players were on the 2016 team, but through either injury or just a lack of playing time given to them, they did not appear. So Yuli Gurriel was on the 2016 Houston Astros, but he wasn't in the top 5 for plate appearances for starters or non-starters. So just a caveat there. Second base, Jose Altuve. Shortstop, Carlos Correa. Third base, Alex Bregman. Left field, Nori Aoki. Center field, George Springer. Right field, Josh Reddick. DH, Carlos Beltran. And then our 5 bench players, Jake Marisnick, Evan Gaddis, Marwin Gonzalez, Derek Fisher, and J.D. Davis.
The year of the beard on the Astros.
Truly.
Yeah, this Brian McCann, man.
Their 2017 average OPS plus for the Houston Astros, 119.1, a 24-point increase from 2016.
Nuts.
The career average OPS plus, you may ask, 111.6, so notably higher than the 2016 number of 101.1, but also it's now lower than the 2017 OPS plus average, which says that a lot of players here were outperforming their career batting numbers. Some of those players, for instance, Yuli Gurriel outperformed his career OPS plus by 6 points. Jose Altuve massively outperformed his career OPS plus by 34. Carlos Correa massively outperformed his career OPS plus by 26. George Springer outperformed his career OPS plus by 10. Josh Reddick outperformed his career OPS plus by 25. Drake Marisnick outperformed his career OPS plus by 40. Marwin Gonzalez outperformed by 45. And Derek Fisher outperformed his by 8.
Honestly, if you took this year out of Jake Marisnick's career stats, I genuinely think his career OPS would be 20 points lower.
I wouldn't even doubt it.
He has been so bad outside of 2017 and somewhat this year. He was serviceable.
Oh my god, it's mad. And I left out the players who underperformed theirs. Brian McCann underperformed his by a bit, 4 points. The real big one is Carlos Beltran, who underperformed his by 38 points, because Carlos Beltran this was literally the last season of his career. He was an old man, so that obviously works against them. Even though he's one of the main people listed in the or accused, I should say, of coordinating the cheating, it seems as though it did not help him. But again, that comes to just because you can know what pitch is coming and can put the ball in play doesn't mean it'll lead to success. Both are still wrong.
Father Time is still undefeated.
Lord knows it, my friend. Lord knows it. So before we get into
we know that.
Before we get into that, what do you make of this right here?
What? What do you mean? Are you pointing at something?
No, of what we just went over, the players.
I thought you were selecting Carlos Beltran's OPS. I don't know. We just talked about Carlos Beltran's OPS. It's bad. Yeah, if we're being honest, if I looked at 2016 and looked at 2017, I'd be like, all right, they had a good year. They brought in new guys. Their young guys performed well. Their stars performed well. Some guys didn't. That's fine. But, in all, they had a great season. But you put this on there as a caveat, and this looks like a giant red flag.
Oh, yeah. And so if you go at it position by position, all right, Jason Castro, was he great? No. 89's pretty mediocre, although it's pretty baseline for a catcher. Catchers are usually not the greatest offensive positions. Just real quick side note. You want to know Jake Marisnick's OPS plus this season, 2019?
Yes.
80.
Damn. Honestly, I thought he was doing significantly better than that. But Jake Marisnick's going to Jake Marisnick. It's just the way it is.
Suck a fat wad. Yuli Gurriel outperformed Marwin Gonzalez in base by a good 30 points. But Yuli Gurriel, I think, Brian McCann and Yuli Gurriel are considered better hitters than Jason Castro and Marwin Gonzalez. Although Marwin Gonzalez on the bench would beg to differ, as Marwin Gonzalez added 54 points onto his OPS plus that season. Let's see, Jose Altuve outperformed his prior season, which he's young. You expect that. Same thing with Carlos Correa. He's young. That's not uncalled for. Alex Bregman somehow performed exactly as well as Luis Valbuena, which is hilarious. Nori Aoki outperformed Colby Rasmus, but not by a ton. A 91 OPS plus is still just kind of whatever. George Springer had an improvement on his season, but what really gets crazy is the bench. The starting lineup improving is whatever. They starting lineup improved, but by an amount that you wouldn't go, oh, that's fucking weird. Outside of maybe a couple guys, but still, it's you wouldn't think too much of it. But the bench, so Jake Marisnick in 2016, 62 OPS plus. Jake Marisnick in 2017, 190. He almost doubled it.
Just for reference, Jake Marisnick's 119 OPS plus in 2017. The next highest in his career is 84. That's insane.
Yeah, and he had a non-insignificant role that season. He played a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Gaddis. Sorry, go ahead.
You can't even look at these benches and say, oh, yeah, 2016, they had, a bunch of prospects there. 2017, you expect those prospects to come in and blossom, but that's not what happened. Derek Fisher, I guess you could say, was still a prospect in 2017. JD Davis was probably a prospect there, but it's older dudes. Jake Marisnick, Evan Gaddis, Marwin Gonzalez. These are all old guys.
Yeah, and so I just want to keep moving through the benches because this is I want to make my point. So Evan Gaddis was on the 2016 team, but he got bumped down into a bench role due to other additions. If you compare him to Tyler White, he outperformed Tyler White by 24 points of OPS plus. If you want Marwin Gonzalez outperformed Alex Bregman on the bench by the next highest, or the highest Astro on the bench of 2016 by over 30 points. Exactly 30 points of OPS plus. Derek Fisher over 30 points of OPS plus over Preston Tucker. JD Davis over 50 points more OPS plus than AJ Reed. The bench is ridiculous, and the thing that makes it, that's one of the things that skews these numbers so much, because yes, the Astros have a good starting lineup. That's, I don't think, where the issue lies too much. Although, granted, the starting lineups did still cheat. It's that when you do this kind of shit, the bench. Oh my god! It doesn't make you appreciate how many plate appearances go towards either untraditional or bench players until you see how much of an impact raising all of their batting stats by a factor of 2 will do for you.
Honestly, I don't even know what else I could say without sounding like a broken record or, sounding like Skip Bayless.
Lord knows we don't need any more Skip Bayless in our life. I guess we can close off this by doing a little bit of, it's not on here, but I have it in front of me, a little home and away split kind of deal. I got that in front of me.
Could you say that one more time? You kind of cut out a little bit.
I've got in front of me, though it's not on the spreadsheet, the 2016 and 2017 Astros home and away batting splits.
100%. I want to hear that.
Okay. In 2016, at home. Oh, that's weird. At home, the Astros had a TOPS plus. You might recognize a new letter there, the letter T. It just makes it. It's just another additional factor. Oh, actually, let's go for SOPS plus. SOPS plus sets it to the league, which is a little bit better of a indicator. So, setting it all over again, SOPS plus at home, 2016 Astros, 91. Not great. Away, 107. Better. Yeah, better away than they did at home.
Isn't Houston a hitting park?
Yes, it is, Corwin. Yes, it is. It's not big.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is. Yeah, that's funny. That's for sure. So, I mean, yeah, reverse splits happen. That's certainly weird, but I guess is what it is in a way, right? In 2017, at home, the Astros had an SOPS plus of 110, and on the road, 127.
What?
So the Astros bat enormously better at home in 2017 as compared to 2016. They tacked on 20 points of OPS plus,
Wow.
but they also bat astronomically better away, also adding 20 points of OPS plus. Jesus, they
I guess that's
love batting on.
definitive proof that they're not cheating. They just got better by exactly 20 points.
Yeah, there you go. Why are we even
That's
talking about it?
that's how that works.
Uh, yeah, they hit more doubles away. They hit more triples away, which I guess makes sense since, as you said, the Astros ballpark is small. They hit a few more home runs away, but like not a whole. They struck out a lot more on the road. Oh, that's interesting. They struck out 83 more times on the road than they did at home. Hmm.
Wonder why.
Wonder why.
Wonder why.
Uh, as compared to 2016, where they struck out more at home than they did on. Hmm. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does. You gotta think really hard.
Yeah, you gotta have a big brain to get that one. So that's all the stats I've had prepared on this. We didn't talk about any of the recent developments as they've been coming out. It's been consistent, but nothing too. I'd say. Oh, before I get to that, anything else you want to say about the stats?
Um, no, I think I'm good.
All right. uh, yeah, it's it's one of those things where the Astros in 2017 were so good, and it seemed so okay that if you had presented me these stats and just said, "Hey, look at how much better the Astros got," I'd go, "Yeah, they're good now." Um, but when you point out that like they cheated to get it, you go, "Oh, that makes sense as to why this is fucking enormous." So,
Yeah, I mean, do you wanna get into some of the details behind it all?
well, I was gonna say yes. The only other thing is I was gonna say is to me the biggest thing that's come out recently was the emails.
Ooh, what were the emails
So
specifically?
apparently, some people in the Astros front office sent out emails to scouts asking them to steal signs,
Oh, right. I remember this now.
which is colossally stupid.
I just first off, you're sending out emails, which is it should be
Already a bad idea.
self-explanatory. Don't do that. Um, and then why would you ask scouts? I get that, like, you want their input most of all, but they're obviously old-time baseball scouts. They're not into these sort of things.
Well, and the other thing is that the Astros ended up laying off a lot of scouts later
Yeah.
on because they're focusing on their analytics. And then guess who they asked to steal signs earlier? The scouts. So yeah, congrats. Everyone's gonna turn on you, you dumb fuck. Like, no shit.
I don't know what they expected to happen here. I really don't.
This was coordinated about as well as what. Like, my god.
Did you say Watergate?
Yeah.
You are not wrong.
I mean,
It's just so fucking ass backwards. Ooh.
it is. It just how they thought they were gonna get away with it.
It's so fucking stupid.
It did sound like though, because Manfred talked to the press the other day. It did sound like nothing's gonna happen before the start of the next season.
Really?
Well, he said um to give a what's the word I'm looking for? Reference point
Mhm,
for how long investigation may take. The investigation into Pete Rose's gambling
mhm.
took 157 days.
Yikes! That's
So
a lot.
yeah, it's
That
a little
really is
under
a lot.
half a year. So
Mhm.
I hope it doesn't take 6 whole ass months because I mean, first off, I want answers. This is amazing. I'm like a fan of it's like a TV show. I mean,
Right.
Jesus, I want to see how it ends. But on the other hand, you got to hope that they reach a conclusion faster than that because they're going to start the season. They're not going to say, "All right, let's pause, let's take a timeout, and we'll reconvene in June." like they're not going to do that. So,
No.
what were you going to say?
If we're being honest, I forget. It was about, how far do you think this extends? Like, genuine, honest opinion, not like, what the rumors
All the
are
way to the
saying.
top,
Uh,
all the way to Jim Crane,
what?
to the owner, Jim Crane.
Oh, I was saying, like, not vertically, how far does it spread, but, like, across the league horizontally.
Oh well, Manfred said it's just the Astros.
Well, I feel like he has to say that without evidence that it's other people, but he's not gonna be like, "It could be anyone, we don't know." So,
It's
I
tough to
feel like that was just, like, an escape answer.
if you told me, but that's the problem is that the Astros, what they did is so egregious. I just have a hard time picturing other teams doing it to that extent. If you tell me that other teams are trying to steal signs or trying to gain some kind of advantage over other teams that is gray area at best, I go, oh, of course, I'm sure. But this in particular or anything near it, I'm really they had a non-broadcast camera inserted into center field, which got found by using promotional pictures from 2017. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. And I don't get I have a hard time believing any other team did anything nearly to this degree.
I it's I honestly think that this is gonna come out and this is gonna be so much bigger than anyone truly expects to happen. Like, I think this is gonna affect, honestly, in the teens of teams. Like, there's gonna be a crazy number of people that are, or not even people, but a crazy number of teams to some degree involved in this. I don't know how the Astros and, Carlos Beltran, wherever he's been, and Alex Cora with the Red Sox. I don't know how more teams can't be doing this.
I just can't imagine it's this though. This is the only problem I have is that the setup was so extreme. They had a guy in the tunnel on a tear down computer with a trash can next to him that he was banging on, based on a feed he was getting from an improper or illegal installed camera out in center field, and I just can't imagine that there's any team doing that.
Well,
Again,
I
if you
mean,
told me that there was other teams doing something skeevy,
uh-huh.
I buy it. Totally
Well,
buy it. But
the
this, I
Do-
have
the Dodgers knew this was going on because, they've admitted to doing changes and, hearing certain rumblings and all this. Like, they knew it was going on and they changed the way they did things because of it. The Yankees, John Boy put a video out of, Gary Sanchez and Masahiro Tanaka during the ALDS, ALCS, ALCS.
CS, yeah.
Um, how quickly they were running through things, changing up the signs in the games. Just they knew what was going on to some degree and were being, safe because of it. Teams knew about this, like they're showing they know about this. I don't know, how many teams it actually is, but goddamn, like if teams know about it, other teams in my mind have to be doing it.
Not only did the other teams know about it, though, the MLB knew about it, because they had an official installed at I think the Astros replay booth, and that official got told explicitly to listen for banging sounds.
Yeah.
Like the MLB knew it was happening. And you could say they were trying to keep it in house or they were trying to just gather information. And I'm sure both of those are legitimate enough. But at the same time, they knew, they knew and didn't do anything in the media to stop it.
So
And also, there's more stuff coming out saying that the Astros were using buzzers to replace the banging because they got found out. And again, maybe I'm being too altruistic in this, but this is fucking bonkers. I really just can't. Because the other thing is, it's stupid. It's so stupid. How do you think you're not gonna get caught? And that's why I'm just so hesitant to think other teams are doing anything to this level because it's dumb. It's just actually dumb.
people are dumb.
Oh, you're right, and it's being proven every day with the Astros. But God,
So I know
I,
I've asked you in the past, but now that more information has come out, and we've had more to kind of deal with all this. What do you think the smackdown from MLB is going to be on the Astros? And does it spread to Cora and Beltran? Like, what do you think the punishments are going to be?
that's just so tough. I People keep
If
saying it's not going to happen, but I seriously believe and hope and think it would be just to dish out lifetime bans to Lunau and Hinch. What were you going to say?
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify, like, if all this is true, not
Right,
like,
right,
oh,
right.
what pick and choose what you think is true, and then like if everything is true, Hinch has got to go. Cora's probably got to go.
So the more I
If
think about it,
Beltron really is the guy behind it, he's got to go.
the more I think about it, I would think you'd have to give Hinch the more severe punishment because the allegation is with this whole buzzer thing that's now come out that the Astros kept on cheating even after Cora and Beltran had left. So maybe somewhere between a half year to full year ban for Cora and Beltran, so as not to be as comparable to what Hinch did, which was not just because that's the other thing about this whole buzzer thing now is that the Astros are saying, all right, not only did we get found out, and we found out that we got found out, but rather than stop, we're gonna double down and get even fucking sneakier. Like it's next level dirtbag. So
I don't
I'd
think
want. Go ahead.
I don't think there's any way that in 2017 when all three of those guys were there, they hooked up a hardline laptop running camera feed from the outfield with all this banging so consistently, like the towels over the gap in the wall so people on the field couldn't see in and see what they were doing. There's no way they went to all of this extent and then just decided, oh, they got us, time to stop. Like if you're going to all this effort to cheat, you're not just going to stop cheating just because some teams are suspicious of what you're doing. And honestly, in my mind, that's why I think there should not be any leniency with the punishments that are handed out. I think all three of those guys need to get lifetime bans. I think the owner of the Astros, Crane, should be forced to sell the team. Um, I Players should get suspended. I don't think the players should get lifetime bans. I think that would affect the watchability of MLB, and at the end of the day, competitiveness is the whole point of this. So I don't think you could ban the players. But if the front office and the coaches are seriously doing this all in, I think you have to go heavy-handed with the punishments. Otherwise, they're just going to find a better way to do it and not get caught.
And not
Like,
only
if you win a World Series and get suspended 80 games, you're going to do that every time.
sure, not only that though, Corwin, if you can do this and win a World Series and you get a lifetime ban as your manager gets a lifetime ban, fucking hire a fall man.
Yeah.
Like hire a dude you don't give a shit about, who's just going to be there to keep the players happy and make sure the cheating works. Like if Lunau stays and Jim Crane stays and everything holds the same, and the only thing that happens is AJ Hinch gets a lifetime ban, why do the Astros give a fuck?
Nope.
Or Lunau, whatever his fucking name, Jeff Lunau still gets to be the holder of a World Series ring and say that he won it without the history books reflecting anything to the opposite. Same thing with Jim Crane. Only thing that bad happens is to happen to your manager, a decreasingly important position in baseball. You don't give a fuck about that. No, you're right. It's gonna be way more severe than that.
I don't want to sound like a sore loser because I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of sanctions and vacated wins. But I really do think that they should have their 2017 World Series vacated.
Absolutely, they should.
I know the whole thing with Penn State when all that went down, just because, bringing it up just because vacated wins and it's such a close topic that I don't think the Penn State win should have been vacated because the atrocities that happened here were off the field. It wasn't cheating. It wasn't a guy who was coaching at the time. It wasn't, it didn't have anything to do with the team itself. This is on the field every game. This is them literally winning games because of this. And
profiting.
Yeah, and absolutely profiting. I can't wait to see what number is like arbitrarily chosen to be their fine, because without a doubt, the Astros themselves are going to get fined such an insane amount of money. It's going to be laughable, and I just have no idea how like some actuary is going to be able to come up with this number.
What number would you make it?
The first number that came to mind was $1 billion.
That's the exact same number I had in mind.
There's no way they find them $1 billion. I don't know if the team is worth $1 billion. Man, it's got to be in the over 100 million. It's probably going to be like $200 million.
Astros are currently worth $1.8 billion.
Yeah, but fuck, like if you find a team half of what it's worth, you're not getting that money, or you're basically just giving that team the death penalty. Because there's no way any business can function if you are forcing them to pay a fine half of what the company itself is worth.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's got to be severe enough that it hurts. What do you think of the idea of a playoff ban for the Astros? There's something else that's been discussed a lot.
Again, it probably should happen. I feel like all of these things. I don't think all of these things can happen together. I think if you're lifetime banning 3 or 4 dudes, you're banning players a crazy number of games, you're fining them a crazy amount of money. I don't know if you can also ban them from the postseason. I feel like there's a mix of these things that's all going to come together and hopefully be the perfect mixture of sugar, spice, and everything nice. But it's definitely something where if it needs to be added to bring some fairness to the situation, then absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to be a deterrent. It's got to be a really heavy deterrent. So the best thing I can come up with to compare this, because we used to talk about this in my econ classes in college. What's the penalty for murder?
In some places it's death.
But like
lifetime in prison, a very long amount of time. It's a significant.
It's 20 years.
Okay, I didn't know if you were asking for specifics. I don't know.
You can get out of prison for literally killing a man in about 20 years.
Okay.
Good behavior, the whole nine. But like, right. And I understand it's a minimum, but still, you can get out of. Yeah. You can get out in 20 years. How long is Bernie Madoff in prison for? How
Not.
many life sentences is he serving?
I have no idea.
A lot. He's serving I think over 100 life sentences. Like
No
something
way.
I think it's something ridiculous.
Fuck. I totally this is a part of history that I've lived through and just kind of forgot about.
So, do you know why that is?
It's a deterrent. It's what's the name? It starts with a P. What kind of fine?
I don't know what you're
Um,
thinking of.
it's a fine courts give out. They're a type of damages.
I
Um,
can't think of this.
I'll look it up.
Well, the reason is because a lot of murders get solved. Even though
Punitive. Sorry.
oh, gotcha. Um, like if you kill someone, there's a pretty good chance they're gonna figure out who that you did it.
Wow.
If you commit
150 years in prison for Madoff. Sorry.
oh that's what it was. All right, thank you. If you commit white collar crime, that's really hard to find. Like,
Mhm.
not a lot of white collar crime cases get solved because it's just so difficult. You hear about some, but it's because the numbers involved are gigantic.
Right.
But you don't hear about a lot of smaller ones because a lot of smaller ones don't ever get discovered. It's really hard to track white collar crime.
Right.
So what they do is that they issue insanely difficult or insanely tough penalties because getting caught isn't so much of a deterrent because it's you have a pretty good chance of not getting caught. So the idea is if you do get caught in that small percentage chance, the penalties are insane.
Mhm.
Whereas with murder, there's a high percentage chance you're going to get caught. So that's a deterrent right there. And then the 20 years on top of that is also very bad. You obviously do not want to serve 20 years in jail. So, but it's also less than you can get for certain white collar crimes. In theory, I know that
Right.
there's a lot of weird stuff that happens with buying lawyers and that kind of thing, but that's the theory of it.
Yeah, so if you're gonna steal $18 billion like, Bernie Madoff did, you're only gonna get 150 years, so that's, a nice trade-off for you. Actually,
Yeah.
if you think about it, what's the punishment for an NFL player punching a pregnant woman in the face?
Oh, nothing?
2-game suspension? What was Ray Rice, 2 games?
Yeah, sounds right.
Mark Walton got cut for punching, his pregnant girlfriend in the face, and he
Josh
got
Brown got 1 game?
um, no, Josh Brown got, commissioner exempt list.
Oh, I thought
So
he got
he
suspended
he
for 1 game.
no, he was kicked out of the league, which was wildly surprising based off of the, well, I guess, lack of presidents in the NFL. Um, but it's, there's guys that keep doing it because they know the NFL in reality is not going to care all that much.
Yeah, they suck.
Yes, they do.
But anyway, point being, the idea behind the deterrent is that will the MLB catch you? That's tough to say. But let's say you have a good chance of getting away with it because, all teams do it and they don't want to report it, right? So
Mhm.
let's say you have a good shot at getting away with it. If that's the case, especially as technology gets more and more advanced, that means it's going to be easier and easier to hide. And that means you're going to need to have harsher and harsher punishments. Like, could you imagine if the punishment for this was like $500,000?
Oof.
Everyone would
No.
do this.
Yeah.
Everyone would do this, and they would just pay 500, which is about one amateur player, or rookie player. Everyone would just cheat and pay the fine because no one would care. You gotta find that point.
It's so it's ridiculous how in the grand scheme of things, I don't know how I don't know how the MLB is gonna be able to put the punishment down that these guys deserve and not cripple the Astros organization and, ruin, the TV baseball words, the watchability of baseball, the competitive nature of baseball, and, oh, less people are gonna watch, so we can't really go too hard on it, that kinda stuff.
Ah, fuck it, cripple them.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Oh, anyway, I think I've exhausted all of my talk on this for the day. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I made my peace.
All right, then let's get out of here, shall we?
Let's do it.
If you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can do so at JuicingPod. If you want to hit us up via email, you can do so at juiceofthenumbers@gmail.com. And if you want to find show notes for this episode and all previous episodes, you can do so at juiceofthenumbers.wixsite.com/website or juiceofthenumbers.com. And until Monday, y'all have a good one.
Bye.